Coming from The Independent, Trump risks ICC arrest warrant being issued for him, says human rights lawyer. I told y'all it was coming. I mean, if you have any clips, if you have anything in writing, maybe from his social media platforms that he uses as a journal, Google can get you to a spot to tell you who you can send that information to at the ICC. I'm just saying, if you would like to help strengthen the case as your civic duty. Donald Trump risks an arrest warrant being issued for him after he imposed sanctions on the International Criminal Court, ICC, a top human rights lawyer has warned. Baroness Kennedy of the Shaws, director of the International Bar Association's Institute of Human Rights, argued that Article 70 of the Rome Statute forbids the obstruction of justice, and does. The Labor peer told the House of Lords that, under this law, no officer of the ICC can be impeded in carrying out their duties. Musk and the Heritage Foundation are lining Trump up to either be carted away by the ICC or to be impeached and removed. There can be no impeding of any officer of the court in carrying out their duties, and arrest warrants can follow. Baroness Kennedy of the Shaws. Her comments came after the U.S. president issued an executive order in response to what is described as illegitimate and baseless actions targeting America and our close ally Israel. No, just because y'all want to be colonizing cousins does not mean that you're above the law. You may control the law in the United States, but international law is a whole different beast. Whole different thing. Lady Kennedy said, "The world will never see peace if there is no entity which will pursue justice for victims of egregious crimes." There cannot be impunity for our allies. Even now, the court is working on files to bring yet more members of Hamas to trial for the atrocities that took place on October 7th, and it is assisted in this painful work by Israeli lawyers for the families of the hostages and families of the Israeli dead. Are those lawyers and families really helping the side of Israel? Because I've noticed that they only want to show the hostages that Hamas had, but those that Israel are releasing, they're not showing. And they're talking about how emaciated the Hamas hostages look. No shit. Are we forgetting that Israel has not been giving any supplies? So the food and supplies that they have to truly ration out. The propaganda is high. The propaganda is so bad that they're willing to risk lives to keep it up. But I digress. Work continues also on the investigation of potential war crimes in Gaza. Does the government accept that this new executive order attacks the fundamentals of the court and its functioning? And will the government inform the United States administration in these contracts that it has that Article 70 of the Rome Statute forbids the obstruction of justice? Will somebody explain that to Trump so he knows that he's being set up to be the ultimate patsy? And I'm not a Trump sycophant. Don't take it that way. I just see what's going on and I called it. Do I have a problem with him being a patsy? Absolutely not. But we need to root out the weeds from the root. There can be no impeding of any officer of the court in carrying out their duties, and arrest warrants can follow. Will the government advise the president of the risk he faces of an arrest warrant being issued for him? Mr. Trump signed the executive order to impose sanctions after The Hague's investigation into Israel in its war with Hamas. In November, judges at the ICC issued an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Bibi from Philly, and former Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, as well as Hamas military commander Mohammed Deif. Lady Kennedy sat on the ICC panel, which reviewed the evidence used by the prosecutor's office to apply for warrants and helped assess whether thresholds for evidence were met. Prosecutors then applied for the warrants, and they were issued by the court. Human rights campaigner and independent crossbench peer Lord Alton of Liverpool urged the government to protest the strongest possible terms that Lady Kennedy has been threatened with visa restrictions and potential fines for dealing with clients who are part of the process of the International Criminal Court. Responding, Foreign Officer Minister Lord Collins of Highbury said the government has repeatedly expressed its support for the independence of the International Criminal Court, including most recently last week by joining a statement together with 70 other states parties. Imposing sanctions against ICC officials impedes the court's ability to carry out its important work investigating and prosecuting the most serious crimes of international concern. We are in contact with the U.S. administration and British nationals employed by the ICC to understand the possible implications of these measures. He added, successive UK and U.S. administrations have taken a different view on the ICC. The UK is a signatory to the Rome Statute. The U.S. are not. The UK supports fully the independence of the ICC, and we do not support sanctioning individual court officials. Our focus remains on ensuring the ceasefire can be sustained and a surge of vital aid can reach those most in need in Gaza, and that all remaining hostages are released and reunited with their families. That's our goal, and we are working with the U.S. at all levels on that, and we will continue to do so. Former Deputy High Court Judge Lord Thomas of Gresford said that the forcible transfer of the population of Gaza under Mr. Trump's plan would be a crime against humanity under Article 7.1d of the Rome Statute of the ICC. The Liberal Democrat peer added that under Section 2 of the UK's International Criminal Court Act 2001, the Attorney General has no discretion but to endorse any warrant of arrest for the president issued by the ICC. He claimed this would mean no more golf for Mr. President. No more golf for the president at Balmety and Turnberry, and certainly no more cups of tea and parades with our good King Charles. The UK government has been clear that Palestinians must be allowed to return to their homes and rebuild Gaza, and that it would oppose any effort to move them to neighboring countries against their will. Arrest him, okay? I'll put together his to-go outfit. There are a couple more didn't go with him. Like, can we do a package deal? Because he didn't come up with these ideas on his own. So can we can we do this like Manson style? I feel like we should. I feel like we should. Yeah. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section.